Hiya, hiya, it's Joey Reynolds with my hiya, hiya. I got that from some Saturday morning cartoon show. It was called Let's Pretend, which is the same thing that they're doing in the White House and everywhere else these days. Even the king and the queen, they are arguing with the prince and the princess. After we gave them that big wedding, I mean, if you were a parent, and some of us are, and you pay for a big wedding like that, wouldn't you be a little pissed off when the kids decide they're going to move to Canada because they don't like the gig? You gave them world recognition and $1 trillion, and they're going to go to another country. Well, hello. Now, I'll tell you about Canada. Toronto is a very interesting city. They have a river in Toronto. And when the Queen comes to visit, because it is considered a dominion, they perfume the river so it doesn't smell so bad for Her Highness. Now, I don't know if they're going to do that for Harry, because Harry's bringing his own scent. And he's going to bring that Meghan, who I think, I don't know much about her, except I think she's got a screw loose. Anybody that's a princess and wants to go to Hollywood and be in the movies or do voiceover work, like Bruce Vilanch in the Oscar Awards ceremony, who hands jokes over to Billy Crystal in the early days. The only reason to go to Canada, if you're going to be commercial, is to have Lorne Michaels, who's from Canada and the head of SNL, Saturday Night Live, is to have him discover you and bring you back and make you, give you a show or do a movie with you, which he's done many times, including Ghostbusters. You know, that's Lorne Michaels. He's from Toronto. He'll notice these two right away. But they're on the other side. They're on the left coast. They're over there in Vancouver. Now, the Canadians, who are a little bit more conservative than we are, and they have good medical. So I guess these two are not going to worry about if they get a cut in their hand, it's going to be healed without having to go to the royal dispensary and take money. See, this commercial stuff they're doing, they want to do commercials. Now, who in their right mind would not want to be a king or a queen or a royal and never have to do anything and live in a palace? You have to have something that's a little bit strange to give all that up to come to poverty. Why don't they give themselves a nice trailer in Joshua Tree? That would be nice. Then they don't have to be bothered with anything. Nobody's ever going to bother them either. Someone will probably rob the trailer, but that's the way they do things in Joshua Tree. Well, there's a lot of homeless, and I guess these two are homeless now. But they're the most expensive homeless couple I've ever seen in my life. They're moving here, and I think the Queen is probably going to do commercials herself for Fleischer's Imperial Margarine. They'll have her crown on the cover of a margarine package, if people still use margarine. I know that 15 minutes with Geico is not going to be a big deal for anybody in England, but I think when it's owned by Warren Buffett, so he'll be real quick to hire these guys to do a commercial for them. And the other thing, the two popes ought to do commercials. I ought to do Pope Cola. That would be a good sponsor for them. I don't know where this is all going, but I think in a commercial world that we live in this morning, Martin Luther King Day on CBS television, they refer to him as iconic. Now, I never thought Dr. King was iconic, but this is the word. And branding, we're branding the Royals establishment. We're using these words all of a sudden. They're all commercial words. But I tell you, I am having my coffee black, not because of Martin Luther King, because I like him anyway. But when I say anyway, I mean I don't need to have a big ceremony for Martin Luther King. I like the work that he did. We were doing that in the 60s. Those are the songs we were playing on the radio. Were about freedom. And Amen with Curtis Mayfield was one of them. We were trying to have equality, but not have separation. Equality without separation. That's what we need. You need to be equal, but not together with some other form of your race, color, creed. You have to come into ours. I have to come into yours. We have to all get together and get along. Like Rodney King said it best. It was Rodney King, not Martin Luther King, when he said, why can't we all get along? And it's a good question. We can, because what's really in the way is not the color black, but the color green. It's about money. And that's why the king and the queen are fighting these two jabonis for going to Canada. It's about money. Who's gonna give them money? Who's gonna pay for them? They're gonna do commercials to support themselves. About money. How about the president? His lawyer, Giuliani, his lawyer hired a lawyer. That's about money. they brought people out from other trials, Dersfeld and what's his name, the things that have all been famous trials. Now, the president of the United States says he doesn't understand why he's being impeached. Is this a big soap opera, or are we just all supposed to go along with the gag? The world is upside down. Stop it. I want to get off. I'm the catalyst. And follow me. It's the Joey Reynolds Rap, or I'm on all platforms. You follow me everywhere. YouTube is a good one. TikTok. You can follow me anywhere. I'm all over the place. I'm like, on a shingle, which is another product. I'm going to endorse that one. It's a Reynolds Rap.